All right, this year's presidential race bringing up major contrast between the presumptive nominees. They are, of course, John McCain and Barack Obama. Right now, we're focusing on tax policy, your money and your vote. And right now, your guests, Stephen Moore, the Wall Street Journal's editorial board's senior economics writer, and Margie Omero, Democratic strategist and president of Momentum Analysis. Good to have both of you with us.
Thank you.
So just for a simple way to break this down, you got the capital gains, dividend tax policy, you got income tax, and you got corporate tax. So we'll zip through them. So, Stephen, let's just start off. I know that John McCain has said he doesn't want to increase capital gains dividend tax from the current 15%. Barack Obama has indicated he'd consider raising it anywhere from 25 to 28. Are we 100% sure he's going to increase it? And if so, how much?
Well, he's said it repeatedly, and, from an investor standpoint, raising capital gains and dividend taxes reduces the value of stocks, and so it will certainly put a dent in the stock market. And in fact, I think it's already having a negative effect. Just the idea and the prediction that the capital gains and dividend taxes will go up has a very negative effect on stock values.
Got to say, though, Margie, interesting when you look historically over capital gains when it's increased or decreased, you get a little arbitrage by quick money. They go in an arbitrage tax rate. It goes up and then they rebuy it. It shouldn't necessarily move the market at all.
Well, I look at it from the perspective of the voters and from the political perspective, because this is a political exchange and they're talking to the voters. And there's really nothing that shows how much McCain is a third Bush term than his support for the Bush tax cuts, while Obama really has a clear plan that focuses on the middle class and the people who are really struggling right now in this economy. So every time we're talking about the economy, it puts McCain at a disadvantage. It shows that he has a hard time keeping together not just the evangelical part of his base, but also the Country Club for Growth and Republican free trade part of his base. And so it's always a difficult topic for McCain.
But isn't it true that neither candidate has a long-term plan here? I don't hear either one of them talking about what we need to do to make Medicare viable, and that crisis is going to hit very, very soon.
Well, let's start with one of the real economic albatrosses around America's neck right now, which is the corporate income tax. As you know, we've got the second highest corporate income tax in the world. For companies located in states like New York and New Jersey, we have the highest corporate tax in the world. Almost all studies show that puts America at a very competitive disadvantage. It hurts the very middle-class workers that we were just talking about. So I think McCain on taxes has a very clear vision of keeping tax rates low. There's no way that you can make the economy.
Before he was opposed to the Bush tax cuts, and now he's in favor of it. How is that clear?
There's no way that you can grow the economy by raising tax rates, especially at a time when the rest of the world is dramatically reducing them.
He says he hates the issue of economics. He says, this is not my issue. He said that many times. To call his economic policy clear is laughable. I mean, even Bush has been more clear, and clearly that hasn't done much to help the economy and help the folks who are really struggling.
If you look at the Obama plan, Obama's talking about raising the top personal income tax rate and payroll tax to 52%, which would be almost the highest in the world.
But he wants to give a break to...
but the point is, what matters is the highest tax rates that investors are facing.
Well, that's what matters to you. But it doesn't matter. I mean, what matters to the people who actually make up this country is what candidate has a plan that will really make them feel optimistic. It's not just an academic exercise.
You know what the problem is that the people who are paying these highest tax rates, 80% of them are small business owners. And the problem that Barack Obama has is, how do you create more high-paying jobs and more jobs in the economy if you're raising taxes on the very people who create the jobs in the first place? I mean, that math just doesn't add up.
Well, just saying, I'm going to do what Bush did, I don't think is a good plan, and it's not a plan that the American people are going to sign on to.
But you're not addressing his point.
Look. The point is that it's not...
How do you create jobs if you're raising taxes on small businesses?
Look, there's lots...
And I would add, and investors. Yeah. I mean, these people who make more than $200,000, these are the people who invest, both in small businesses, in the stocks of new companies, etc.
People don't just respond only to the tax point. They also respond to their optimism about the economy. Right now, you have optimism at an all-time low. There is no optimism. It's only pessimism.
Yep.
And it's not just only the tax dollar. It's what they think is happening with the country in the future. And continuing Bush's policies is not going to improve.
But one of the things that's making investors you're right. There's a lot of pessimism out there. Unquestionably, we agree on that. But one of the reasons investors are so pessimistic is that they see this kind of coming storm of Barack Barack Obama's trade protectionism, higher taxes, more government spending, all things that make an economy weaker, not stronger.
I don't think so. When I talk to business leaders, when I talk to voters, that their concern is not Obama's going to raise my taxes. Their concern is right now the country is a disaster, and who's going to change? Who is representing change?
We're going to have you two lovebirds back again.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's do it.
You know what, Mark? There is one thing, though, and I know, Berna, that we are a little heavy, but the complexity of the capital gains issue, which a lot of people view to be negative on Barack Obama, is much more complicated than that. It's not as simple as the market goes down. Every study shows that's not the case. And for John McCain, people want to pick on him for cutting corporate tax rates, saying that's not good for individuals. But many studies will show that if you cut taxes on corporations, you get more jobs and it goes to the bottom line. So I'm just saying there's an information gap, and it's very easy to take conventional wisdom and not look at the actual facts of these
I'm willing
situations.
to stay after school for you to explain it to me.
Yeah.